What's up, y'all? This is Real Good. What to do with the discomfort of sadness? Let's talk. But first, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Head over to patreon.com/realgoodlife and subscribe. Even just $1 a month is going to help me out a lot so I can focus on these videos for you and we can keep growing together. Let's get in. So I'm personally feeling a big pressure and sadness in my chest because today is my last day of work and I'm on my way to drop off my equipment. I'm feeling sad and some nostalgia, and a bit of fear and excitement for what's next and the unknown. But this sadness is welling up the strongest in my chest and it's uncomfortable. What should we do when we're feeling sadness and discomfort? First thing we do with our feelings here is notice. We start with feelings here. We start in the somatic. We check in with ourselves as regularly as possible until we live here and start here. We start from this noticing. I am having this feeling. That's what's going on. More so than any story I have about what else is going on. I have stories about why this sadness is here. But what's really going on is right now I'm feeling this sadness. Our practice is to be with it, to have space for it. Not to try to escape it, run away from it, or even obey it and act out on it. Not even necessarily talk about it yet, but secondly, you first notice and grow into being a constant noticer of our somatic. And then second, be with it. When something's coming up, have space for it. What does it mean? It means keep noticing. Increase a sort of loving kindness for self, a compassion for self. Even an empathy, a storyless empathy, where we're just feeling, that kind of phrasing and tonality that might indicate care and self-care for you. Whatever it takes for you to slow down and have space for yourself, whatever you're going through. And I want you to go ahead and check in now before we keep talking what's going on for you. So go ahead and pause this video right now and don't come back until you found some sort of feeling. Okay, pause the video now. Now, if you found your feeling, be with it. Okay. In time, let's call this third. As you're being with, you'll notice not only stories, but that the feeling itself, when we're staying just with the somatic, that the somatic itself will grow and shift. Mine's expanding out through my chest, down into my belly, up through my throat, and changing in character in slight ways that are actually difficult for me to articulate to you. But this is what I consider the actual somatic processing, pure somatic processing, where I'm not just stuck with the sadness anymore, simply in being with it, whatever that is, that bringing of awareness to that space with loving kindness and compassion. The somatic actually shifts and processes. Now again, it can be uncomfortable. Sadness itself, for example, can be uncomfortable. The idea of coming and sitting with it can also feel odd or uncomfortable, or even self-indulgent or ill-advised. I'm welcoming you here to be with whatever emotion it is that you've just found. Whatever it is you're avoiding, go ahead and pause this video again and just spend 30 seconds, a minute, as long as you can, being with yourself, being with this feeling, not running off to any of your mechanisms or your distractions. So go ahead now and pause this video and let's continue to be with, and let's watch this third part as it starts to shift. Not so much interested in the stories, but watch that emotional shift. Pause the video now. I notice that my feeling has expanded and it's starting to spout off stories about other forms of loss, relational loss. There's this sense of loss, pain in that loss, but also a transition and a sort of freedom. And I already watched my mind wanting to make up and remind myself we want things that are more long-lasting. It's fine. We can think that. And I'm staying with the somatics. I'm starting to feel it up through the right side of my chest. A heat. And honestly, all of this so far is a sort of somatic exercise where you're strengthening your capacity to have emotions, to be with difficult emotions, to process these difficult emotions just by being with them. as well as being less reactive in cases where the emotions come up very strong. And it's especially helpful to not be reactive towards some difficult emotions when we're in interpersonal relationships that we care about. Right now, we're working on our relationship with ourself by staying in the somatic. So the fourth and final ingredient that I'm going to share with you is time. Okay, we're already noticing and growing into a somatic-centric self. We're learning how to be with and have compassion and slowness, storyless empathy and loving kindness for self with that emotion, that feeling, and bringing our awareness to it. We're being with it and watching it unfold. We're noticing the little stories, but we're more interested in being with the somatic experience as it unfolds and shifts and changes. And fourth is time. This process, promise, will help accelerate you moving forward in whatever transitions you're going through, as opposed to being stuck, which you don't want. There might be brief extreme periods in your life where it's nice to block out and be stuck for the sake of accomplishing some small thing, but in nearly all circumstances, if you have the capacity to be with, we can be with and feel this transition. And beyond that, it's time. Being with this. Doesn't mean you have to put down everything throughout the day. As soon as I go ahead and drop off this equipment, I'm going to be continuing to be with my somatic experience, watching what unfolds. Probably keep my notebook by my side. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe go to the beach. I'm actually going to try not to do anything that would be too distracting from this process right now. I think this is an important process for me to stay with at the moment. Thank you. I want to express my appreciation to you for the time that you're taking for yourself. Because honestly, the more we learn to be with ourselves and care for ourselves, the more we unburden others, the more wisdom we grow and develop in our own somatic self, the more insights we have into ourselves, and the better decisions that we'll make in our lives. The more capacity we have to be with these emotions, the more space we're going to have, the less reactive we're going to be, and the more space we're going to have to choose healthier decisions based off of our framework of reality and goodness and doing the work. And thank you right now for doing the work, checking in with the reality of yourself and growing somatically, practicing goodness and that compassion and that loving kindness, noticing where we're moving, who am I, what am I feeling, and doing the work of doing this process and staying with ourselves, doing the noticing, being with, and having the time and patience as the unfolding continues. So thank you. Thank you for doing this work. I appreciate you. If you appreciate this video, hit that like button. Please share in the comments what's going on for you, what's alive. If you get a chance, head over to patreon.com/realgoodlife. I'll see y'all again soon. It's been real good. I appreciate you. Much love.